Massey with USA Drum Fort. I'm here with Dr. Deronda Mobelini with the University Center of the Mountains and Donna Roark with Hazard Community and Technical College, who's Chief Information Officer. We started on a voyage to Europe about 2 weeks ago and left from Cincinnati. And Donna, where did we end up at?
Well, our first stop was in London, England, where we made a couple of visits with some folks, but then our next stop was on to Shannon, Ireland, where we visited with a drone company that is looking for some testing locations here at the drone port.
How long were we gone to Ireland that day, Deronda?
It was I would say a 16-hour day. Going, coming, the whole travel, whole thing set. It was a long day.
It was a long day, and it was just the beginning. That was how the whole trip was. We probably 3 to 5 hours sleep a night generally, didn't we?
That's what we averaged for the
entire trip.
Trip.
But I mean, troopers. So when we got finished in London, we traveled to Deronda,
Paris, France.
Deronda loves Paris.
Oh, for the International Paris Air Show. One of the largest in the world and longest running.
Mm-hmm.
And the USA Drone Port had a booth. We were exhibitors as a part of the Kentucky Commonwealth establishment in the United States wing, which was humongous.
Mm-hmm.
And just impressive. And Bart, I think you can probably fill in some details on that. It was just
amazing.
Overwhelming.
There were 6 convention halls. We met a lot of people. A lot of people came through the booth. We got to work with the Kentucky Aerospace Consortium, One East Kentucky, the Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet, and several companies from Kentucky that were there as well. And thank you, Four Roses, for the bourbon that we got to share with our guests to come over and visit us. But their show was just amazing. It really was. We met some unbelievable people. What do you think about it, Donna?
The contacts that we made with some of the companies and everything, the correspondence that we made, the opportunity to meet with 3-star general that came up and spoke with us and told us what we needed to do in order to make connections with military and how we could get on their contracts was huge contact for us. The foot traffic that we had at our booth alone kept us busy. Deronda and I never sat down. I mean, I know you were busy out trying to make those meetings with those other folks and everything, but Deronda and I were steadily on our feet.
Yeah.
Those 10 or
Our
12
feet were
hours.
swollen.
I still have blisters on top of blisters. And along from walking, the walking that we had to put in just to get into the show and everything, but that was massive. I think it was over 300,000 folks that were there.
Wow, it was crazy to get into. We actually had the Secretary of State come by our booth. We got to speak to the FAA acting chairman, and it was unbelievable who all was at their show. The first 3 days was for executives only, so the people you talk to were decision makers, and we talked to a lot of them. But we researched, and we went and visited the people that we thought we might have some alignment with, and we were able to learn and pivot and make some very good contacts pretty quickly. But in the 3 days, the wonderful thing about it was the organization of the parking. We got to park right next to the buildings. Just kidding.
You
don't want to talk about that.
In our dreams. Oh.
Deronda and I had a 2-mile walk every day.
We got our steps in.
They got their steps in. Yeah, and I'm not complaining. There was, to get any place at the air show, I mean, it was bigger than anything I've ever been to in my life. It was enormous. You got your walking in. You literally had to hump it from one point to the other. But it was unreal too. You had equipment from probably 100 nations that were there, maybe more. You had aircraft from dozens of nations that were flying at any time you'd be inside talking to somebody, and it was almost constant jets flying over, military aircraft, drones, helicopters from all different countries. Pretty amazing. But we worked ourselves just about into a dizzy phase by the time we got finished at their show. It was a long time in, it was a long time to get back. but it was worth every minute of it. I think we made a good representation for our area and for Kentucky.
And there were some educators there too, by the way, which was really neat. You know, for me, with my educator's hat on, UCM hat on as well, I got to meet the chancellor and some other folks from my Embry-Riddle Aeronautic University partners, or will be partners. That's been approved, and we're working on that particular piece. And got to talk to some folks from some other colleges and universities that were looking at programming and some possible partnerships or other ways to expand in that direction. So that was just a nice value added.
Yeah, it was awesome having Deronda there because when they came, and she's actually the one that works with the other universities that partner with HCTC, and which the Drone Port is partners with HCTC and works with the other universities as well. But it helps train our workforce and get our workforce prepared for what's happening right in front of our eyes with this technology in our region. So I think it was really good to have you there, talk to them. I mean, it was value added for me as well to be able to focus on the economic development part of attracting companies here. And Donna's got such a background on this. She's been working on it since the very beginning, and it allowed me to go and talk to people without having to worry about what message was being sent. We were all on the same.
She had that technical skill set, because a lot of times they were talking about connections and the internet. I don't know, you all got into tech talk, but many times she was able to fill that kind of thing in, and a lot of it was professional development for me. I feel like I learned a lot sitting and listening, and then was able to do some other work myself on the side. And one of the key things, though, was just the whole importance of, we're very cutting edge right now, and we've got to keep that going.
Yeah.
And a good example of why was when we made it over to Brussels and over to Belgium and looked at that EU drone port.
What an amazing facility.
That was fabulous. I want that here.
Me too.
Me too.
Now.
Mark did an amazing job showing what they've done. He's a visionary, and he got it implemented. He had funding from the EU. He had support from his local government as well as the federal government, and they've made big steps forward on that. And we can only hope that we can do something similar to that moving forward. It's funny how well we aligned. But speaking of alignment, I'm going to back up to France for just a minute. I remember there's a place called Arch de Triomphe, and we were trying to unwind the car one night at the roundabout. Donna, do you want to tell about that one?
I don't know that I recall what you're talking about.
No, you don't remember going around and about the Arc de Triomphe? Both of these folks drove around the Arc de Triomphe.
Not because we wanted to.
It's a free-for-all. That was amazing drivers right here. I unfortunately did not have to drive at all. And
Not
I am
true.
so glad. Well, in a parking lot.
At an IKEA somewhere in France that we don't know. But we almost got locked in permanently. Alarms going off. We didn't know why they were going off, and then we realized, oh no,
They're
gates are
waiting for us
closed.
to get out of the yeah. But you all very quickly, I think, decided you were not letting me on the road anywhere in France.
You did really good, but it's just difficult to go from driving automatics to a straight shift and then out on the highway.
It would have been hard
do
enough if I'd been an automatic in that traffic, let alone. I mean, I don't see how y'all.
8 lanes of no lanes of traffic running 80 miles an hour
And
bumper
we,
to
when we
bumper.
said the only good thing about it is they were at least all going in the same direction.
True.
And another thing we found out, if you have your nose even a hair of your bumper in front of somebody else, they will yield to you.
You have the right of way.
We did not know that until a time. And the stoplights, do not run a stoplight. Do not run a stoplight.
They do honor their stoplights.
They honor stoplights, and I like the flexibility of yellow. There is not that. The very first light that I thought I'd take advantage of, there was cars started pulling in front of me and behind me, and we eventually got through the thing. But we learned through trial and error. But
Fortunately, not too much error.
yeah, but come back and we've contacted the people that we worked with. I've talked to 3 of them today, including one of them from France, and we've made some amazing connections, and we are working with these people. We have been helping create jobs along with the people who have taken the test and helped create them themselves. But this is an ongoing project. We're very, very, very grateful for the opportunity of gotten to go. We worked very hard for you all too. I can promise you that Donna and Deronda put in a lot of time and work for this, and I couldn't have done it without them. So I'm thankful. Thank you all for that. And I had the best time. I've laughed and I've kept a smile on my face ever since there's many antics that we went through the whole thing. It was just hilarious. But what do y'all have anything you'd like to say in conclusion?
I'm tired.
I am too.
But it was a once in a life experience. I mean, again, the air show was just phenomenal. And then again, the drone part was phenomenal. Just some of the people we met were phenomenal. I don't know what else we can say. I mean, it was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think we see firsthand what an economic impact the EU drone port has made on their community, and what our vision and our mission that we have with the drone port can make on our community and our region and our state.
Yeah.
So just move forward. We all have the same mission, same vision.
Amen. Well, thank you all. And with that, we'll bid you fair due, but we look forward to talking to each of you about what we're doing with the USA Drone Port. Thank you all.